Yo, what up? Welcome to the Binge Eater Podcast. Your boy, the South Bouse. Donna dripping the Pharaoh flavor. I'm here with Big Lynch and Donnie Duckett's on the ones and twos. And I took my first L, probably in my entire life. I think took my first L. It just happened to be in front of like over 15,000 people in an arena. I boxed former WWE Superstar John Morrison. And he knocked me out of the ring at one point. It was really crazy. Everything. By the way, if you're wondering, I'm fine. If you're looking at the video, obviously I have a little bit of a black eye, but shout out to black guys. I've had worse from sparring.
Your beard off.
Oh yeah, I did that. That's actually, that's probably the most shocking thing is that I'm completely shaved right now. Probably more shocking than everything else I've said. It's like, hold up. You shaved though? Shut up. You shaved though.
It's like the boxing's done, everything's done. You're like, all right, I quit. You shave your beard. Like,
I did. Listen, I was shaving a mustache. I had some beard, and then my Manscaped died, and I think I left the cord in the hotel. So I was like, and I just wanted to get this over with. So I just shaved it. I was like, I'm just going to do that. It's fine. You know what? It's like a new chapter anyways.
yeah.
Listen, I'm still undefeated in YouTube boxing. I'm just 0-1 in boxing WWE Superstars. Sorry. Guess I'm not as chill as I thought I was. Guess I can't be super funny and beat up WWE Superstars.
It's even more intense too, because WWE is super athletic, but it's choreographed kind of stuff. You actually fought. That was his first fight.
I feel like it wasn't. I feel like he's done some MMA stuff. I feel like he's done some like grappling. I don't know if you count that as fighting.
Oh, he must train grappling. But
but no, I meant like legit, but like, yeah. Anyways. No, that was his real, still, nothing's like boxing.
Right.
I was talking to this guy, that guy that I like his videos, Ranton. I think I've showed you his review videos. He's that, he learned Kung Fu.
Oh, yeah.
And like, all those games, farts in his videos. He was talking about Creator Clash, and he was like, I can't do it because I know Kung Fu, so if I lose, it's a bad look. Which is true, because like to an extent, John Morrison, like if Johnny Nitro gets beat up by the bacon guy from YouTube, like that's a bad look.
It's a bad look.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I said to him, I was like, even though you know Kung Fu, it's nothing like boxing. Like Kung Fu can help, but it doesn't translate directly to boxing. I don't think anything does. Like playing tennis also translates to boxing, but like not exactly. But like tennis can be a great help. The idea of using your hips to get strength. I never did that in football. The position I played in, we never used our hips like that. So I never played a sport that, had you turning at the hips. But anyways, Kung Fu is, Kung Fu is Kung Fu.
But I think he doesn't want to do it, not for him and not for boxing, but literally for the name of Kung Fu. I think he doesn't want to go in there and have the whole marketing be, oh, this Kung Fu master, and then he gets beat up and Shaolin monks take an L.
They're like, nah, we don't know that guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you just took an L for all the cooking channels out there on YouTube. Have you had a chance to, like, have you watched the fight back? Like, have you watched? Yeah. And what? So, like, I'm gonna say, so I was there. Donnie unfortunately didn't make it down for this trip, but it was. Just like the first one, it was
I watched it though.
Yeah, it was a surreal experience. Just like everything.
Surreal experience, bro. Like the fact that I was sitting on my couch last night, stoned, watching Love Is Blind as if this weekend didn't just happen, is so disrespectful to the timeline of existence. To just sit there like that didn't just happen. It was so crazy. It was what was it like if you thought about me 2 years ago? Remember when I took a ton of mushrooms and I fell in the woods and I hurt myself and I was 310 pounds?
I do.
Donnie, you said my big snow pants. You called them hospital pants. You asked me where I got them at the hospital.
Yeah, I said
being so gargantuan. and I fell and I hurt myself on mushroom. Imagine you told me, you're like, yo, get up. You have to box Johnny Nitro in 2 years. Not even 2 years. Like that guy to also be this. It's just insane. It's insane. And I watched the fight back, and it is like really silly for me to say, and it's like annoying also, but like I'm like, I could have beat him. That's the worst part, is that I'm like a beginner. I didn't have it when the blood rushed. I didn't have in the ring what he has. He had composure. He did adapt. His second round was very different. His third round was he knew exactly what was getting me, and I was getting overwhelmed very quickly. And I didn't, I was on my back foot. My feet were moving a lot. He dictated the pace that wasn't supposed to happen. But yeah, sorry.
I mean, like, no. So I would say, like, it was so surreal that I took like a 4-hour nap in the middle of the day, like when I came back, and I didn't fight, so I had nothing to do with this other than, like, all the other stuff around it. But it is weird. The walkout was fucking crazy. Like, I was working the corner as the guy, just the third guy there, who probably couldn't have done shit, or definitely couldn't have done anything about anything. But it was, yeah, I did watch. I watched back the fight, and it's. I have to say, like, going into it, and this is something that we were told a lot about Aaron last year, I did have confidence. Obviously I knew your opponent was going to be someone that's more difficult than anyone else on the card, frankly, just because he's...
Why'd I do that, eh?
Definitely the hardest fight. Definitely the hardest fight.
When I had the first fight, I told people, I was like, yo, book an easy fight. I boxed Aaron, and no one was like, yeah, but that's a game grump. No one said that. Everyone was like, bro, you fucked him up. And I was like, yeah, I did. So when I got this fight, like, I was like, yeah, let's get crazy. Let's get a little spicy. Maybe a little too spicy. Because in real life, all these other boxers, a lot of them, what you see do it, they just pick easy opponents. Even in like, I'm talking about the YouTube influencer space. Like, it's been like easy opponents for the most part.
Yeah, but the part that, like, look, we've talked about this before. Like, I wouldn't have been like, game. We're like, I'm going to do this. I'll tell you the truth, what I really think. I'm not someone to be like, I'm not going to lie to your face. If I'm like, this is a bad idea, I was hesitant, but I'm like, he's been training, and you did train really hard, for this whole thing. And I was sort of, I don't want to say like super confident, like, oh, this is easy. I just thought that, like, I trust your coach. I know that you had more experience in the boxing specific thing, and boxing is super technical. It is like a technical sport.
I needed one more fight experience. It would have made a difference in this one.
Yeah, yeah.
That arena was huge. That place was crazy. John Morrison's been in that arena. He's taken his shirt off in that ring, in that arena, multiple times over the last 20 years.
So can I ask you, so when did you realize that? Because obviously, like, look, we get to the event.
That was my second time taking my shirt off in front of that many people. You're not really getting it.
That's true.
And then that French article they wrote some shit. They were like, yeah, this guy with weird lumps on his body, weird bumps in weird places. Like, I don't know if you saw that article.
I didn't see that article.
No.
Translated. It's really funny. It was Journal de Montréal. They were like, I don't know how, I didn't read the French description of it, but in English just translated to, like, yeah, bumpy body.
I mean, you know what? I think, like, I mean, so when did I know you did the first one, which was obviously, it was crazy. You were there for that. This one, your walkout was like so extra. Everything was so extra. I felt like it was different. People were going fucking crazy. We were trailing behind you, and it was just like, I have to say, I've never really been, or like, just the energy was just fucking wild. I don't even think it reads on the
I was
stream.
in the fucking zone. I was in the fucking zone for sure. But because everyone was so hyped, even though I'm in the zone, like, inside, I'm like, whoa, people are vibing with this. Okay, bro. Okay.
You're walking
I'm
down.
looking down. I'm walking down. I'm walking down. Exactly. I'm like, yeah. And I'm looking at him in the ring. And I'm like, bro, this guy's jacked. And I'm like looking at him as someone who loves that shit. I'm looking at him like, he's fucking jacked. Like, I'm like looking at his chest, and I'm like, his chest looks great. And I'm thinking about my chest, and I'm just like, just thinking about how ripped he looks. And I'm like walking down, and I'm so stoic and serious, but inside I'm like, bro, I'm gonna go fight John Morrison. And I'm like, and I know I'm like 100, like, I'm thinking baby. I am thinking baby steps. I'm like, I'm gonna punch this guy in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm gonna, like, that's insane to me. I'm going to punch this guy in the face. And I also recognize, I'm like, now it's not sparring. This guy's going to be going all out. What if I can't take a punch? What if I get punched once and I'm just like, blah,
yeah.
And like, I kept getting punched, and like, I'd be like on the ground, and I'm like, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. When I got to the ropes, like, I really wanted to do a thing. I just ended up putting my arms up after I got punched onto the computer table. When I got punched out of the ring, normally in a ring when you have the ropes, there's about like a foot and a half like apron of canvas where you could even stand. Your coach could stand there, or wrestling, your tag team partner. But it's like that in a lot of the
thing was like a shitty
in.
Grocery store cake. It was just like a tiny little square.
I never been in a ring like that, and like my foot did slip off a couple times. And when I was flying out of the ring there, normally there's my hands were. That's where there's ring. There's literally ring there in every ring I've ever been in. There's like an extra foot there. There's nothing there. There was computers and wires. And I'm falling and I'm conscious enough that I'm like, what's all this shit doing here?
Yeah.
And I fall on it and I'm like, I just smashed the Spanish commentary table like in WWE. This is a moment. The cameras are on me. And I was like, like looking around. I couldn't see anything. Couldn't see anyone, couldn't hear anything. I was just going through the motions, even like getting back on the stairs and then hearing everyone. I'm just like we're doing this. It wasn't the boxer inside me. I don't have that.
No, it's
I'm
tunnel
not
vision.
a boxer. Yeah. And so like you go into autopilot and tunnel vision, and now I don't have a boxer in me. If I did, I would go into tunnel vision there, but I have a performer in me. That's who was there. And I didn't really want that Harley there.
Yeah.
That's not the guy that I want.
That's not the guy, no.
And I know John, he has a performer in him too, but John also probably has like, he's around competitive dudes. They're like roughhousing constantly. That's his job. Like the guy that he has inside of him in that moment, like when he was wailing on me, like
his
punching,
performer can fight.
Bro, yes, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. I was literally sitting there like, and I'm my defense isn't bad, and a couple punches get through, but for the most part, I am moving with the punches, and I am. It looks like he's punching me around, but I'm like moving with it. I'm taking, and I'm like, I'm thinking, and it's going through my head. I'm like, bro, I feel like the difference with sparring and even with Aaron is I'm fighting someone now who really fucking means it and needs it. And that's what real boxers have to go through every fight. And God bless the glove size and John's amateur technique, because his strength punching you accurately, I have the most respect for real boxers because they will fuck you up.
Yeah.
And if you lose, you go back to it. You get back to it because this is what you want to do. And real boxers, it's just, to me, it was insane. Like I'm there and I'm like, John means it. And if he had the training, all these punches would fuck me up. He didn't even put any in the body. None went down the middle.
So I was going to ask you, like, so after last year's fight against Aaron, I mean, we covered this, but you said once you felt his first punch, you're like, oh, okay. Like, I'm good. That was sort of your reaction. You didn't feel like in danger in that moment and like fighting for your life, right? And that was sort of the whole discussion we had after, and we've talked about this. We're like, I want to be challenged more because the
same thing happened.
Really?
The same thing happened this fight.
Interesting.
Is that I got up there and I took a punch from John, and my thought was slower,
I could take that. Yeah.
Slower and weaker than I thought, which was very bad because it gave me overconfidence. Because what I didn't realize is that like his punches are still faster than mine. And I'm moving a lot. I was on my back foot. I didn't throw many good punches. The ones that I did throw, I remember them very clearly because the ones that I did, they staggered him.
You did something weird though that I noticed in the first round. The first punch you really threw was a right hand, and I was shocked by that because in our discussion leading up to it, and everything we've seen, I figured, stick him with the jab.
Yeah, stay behind the jab.
Stick with the jab, and I feel like this is pretty common knowledge at this point. Like this is sort of what part of the strategy would be. You're a bigger guy, and the first thing I noticed in watching back the fight, because I watched it a couple times, but it's just you threw an overhand right, or right hand. And I thought that was so weird. It kind of opened you up, and then he stuck you from there. And I was like, that's weird. Like I'm surprised you didn't stay behind the jab.
I threw it by itself, just the right.
Just the right. That's the first punch you throw in the first round. Did he
step into it? Because you know what? Another thing I did is I stepped to his strong arm the entire fight.
Yeah.
And I haven't done that in the years that I've done since I started boxing. That was just the one thing you don't do. And I never do. Why I did it, I can't even tell you.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. Like my brain It was literally like,
And your coach is
that's performer. That's
screaming his head off in the corner. He's screaming, "Move right!"
yeah,
Move
but see,
right.
it was
Can't
it was
hear
like
that.
No,
yeah,
I know.
hear that.
No, I know.
it was performer Harley that was in there where it's just like, it's just you, put on a show, baby. You got this. Dance a little bit. You can move. He can't read you. Oh, you just got hit. That's okay. You got hit. You got
Dude,
hit.
when I saw you guys square up like right away, I saw John walk in, kind of shuffle his feet in a way, and I haven't done boxing. I used to do martial arts, but I haven't done it in so fucking long. It's negligible. But I've seen a lot of it, and I just saw the way he shuffled his feet, and I was like, he's not moving right. I thought that you had a lot better stance. I saw that you were posted up. I saw that you were jabbing, trying to load up the right, and it was hard to defend his strategy. His strategy was...
I stuck my head out. I moved to his strong side.
You also leaned forward on a couple. Like I saw, like you reach with the jab and sort of. That's when you stuck your head out. Like you see,
my feet weren't planted when I was punching. Yeah, I wasn't planting my feet. And I look slippery.
The footwork part. I remember sitting there because from the ring side, it's. I couldn't see anything really. All I could see is
all feet.
I saw you fall out of the ring. Right. I saw you fall. I saw your face. I saw you put your hands up, and then like the rest of the time, the ref's in the way, the coach is in the way, and then you get back in, and then I saw the last sort of punch. But like I just remember I remember thinking this ring isn't built for a 240-pound man right now, because when you came into there's a point where you're like falling back and you hit the ropes, and I'm like, everyone along the wall, it like puts their hands up as if you are gonna break the rope and come flying down into
there was an issue with the ropes, and I hit my head on a camera apparently.
Yeah, I was fucking screaming.
The cameraman flexed when the
exactly. I was screaming at the fucking.
Why do you flex?
Because he's like, because everyone.
Well, exactly, and I was like, oh, you're fucking good. Get the fuck out of the way, bud.
But why? I should have flexed, bro. Yeah. I'm fighting John Morrison.
Exactly.
Camera.
Exactly. This guy's like, I successfully got in the way and almost cut the back of this guy's head and almost ruined an expensive lens.
It was a weird flex. I have to.
It would be really sick, actually. Like, I would take it if I smashed that camera and it cut my head and I had to get 3 stitches. I'd take the three stitches to just be like, I don't know, my loss didn't really count. The camera ruined it.
So when do you think, at what point, because the first round I was watching it back, like, I mean, it looks pretty good in my opinion. I mean, you were not enough action maybe on your side in terms of like jab work on him. But I didn't feel, I was like watching it back, I'm like, okay, this looks good, and then at what point did it really like, do you feel like you sort of lost your senses of boxing? Because it feels like, I know you trained hard. Like, I know this for a fact. Like, that's what you.
I felt like there's one point where I was going, there's a couple times where I just like stick him with a punch, and in my head I'm like, see, that's easy.
Yeah.
That's it.
Do it again.
That's easy. Exactly. Yeah. And the thing is, I saw every time he visually got very mad and rushed in. And what I did was I took a step back and I should have stepped in.
Yeah.
And I would have liked, I would have liked like if I could think of like some weaknesses of mine that I wish I had. I wish I had like a bit of a better arsenal of punches, although my jab and my straight are good. If I had it's if I stuck with the original game plan, my jab and my straight, that's what it is. When he rushed in, I should have really just done it again, but I took a step back, and that invites someone a lot.
Exactly.
Mentally in a ring,
back into his range.
Yeah, no, like I stepped like backwards even, and he was closing in on me. So like I'm in his range, I'm stepping back, I'm still in his range, he's still closing in, and it invites someone to kind of like treat you like a punching bag. And then that's what I did. I essentially became that. But then when they don't hurt, I want to be in the match. I want to throw out a punch. I'm throwing out a 1 or a 2. I would have liked, like looking back, I'm like, oh, I heard him breathing through his mouth. His mouth was open. He's squared up, wide open. An uppercut would have been a far more effective punch in that exact second. But I don't have the brain there in the fight to think like that. Like I don't have that brain.
You're moving left instead of right already. That's like enough of a.
Yeah, exactly.
And how come you didn't like? I thought maybe because you're a bigger guy. No matter what his weight is weight. He's a strong dude, and
you had 40 pounds on him.
When I look, but no 30 pounds. But when I watch the fight back, it's like 35. You look really good. You look really good. And then I look at John, and I'm like, oh shit, this guy's fucking.
Oh, 25,
jacked.
by the way. 25.
He's jacked. like, you said
when we clinched,
why did you clinch up with him? Like, what'd that feel like?
We clinched the one time. And
the ref wasn't stopping it when you guys would clinch.
I was hanging on him.
Yeah.
And it was so funny. I've hung on people like while sparring before, and I really flopped while I was on top of him, and he didn't care.
He was like holding you up. He's like,
it was the way his body is built with his legs straight.
He could like hold you up.
He could carry you.
He could like carry me over his shoulders, like over his shoulders, and like walk like for an hour. This guy can take like a big wrestler dude and slump him over his shoulders and spin 1080 10 times in a row.
Right.
Without putting this guy down. So me hanging on him, I did it. It was literally, it felt like a fucking fire hydrant.
Yeah.
I'm like leaning on him and I'm like, okay. And he's like standing. And it's like, so I just thought about it there. And I never felt like a clinch was the ideal thing.
Mm-hmm.
I thought if he closed in for a clinch, like, or close like that, then I have my 2 to throw out. But he came in really violently, and I should have, when I assumed a defensive position, I should have held that. Yeah. And if I wanted to throw something, it could have been an uppercut, but I should have held it. He would have tired out. He did punch way harder and longer than I thought. Like when I was in there, I'm like, bro, like still? And then like, and I'm actually like hearing him breathe. Like I'm thinking in there, but like even when the last punch, when he fully hit me clean and I got knocked to the ground, as soon as I like hit the ground, like I already heard the crowd and the ref, I knew it was over, and I'm like, fuck. Makes sense? Because we're like,
but you're like,
I've been getting wailed
out
on the whole time. And all I was thinking was like, I'm annoyed because I have more in me. I thought I would be so gassed. I had more rounds.
Yeah.
I had strength in my punches still. I just like really let him overwhelm me. And it was just, I'm an amateur. My second fight, it was just not, I just didn't have what it took to handle that exact scenario that I knew it could potentially go that way.
Well, you took a couple shots, like, once again, like I only see this in retrospect now, going back and watching the fight a couple times. And you did take, I mean, we know you could take a punch because you took a couple just clean shots.
I didn't know that until this fight.
Straight there. And I was like, I remember your jaw was hurt after. And I'm like, oh, that's why. Mm-hmm. I actually saw the 2 punches that created that sort of pain in there. But the last punch looked to me like he really tagged you. Like, what do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember all of that? Or
that's the ultimate. That was the cleanest punch the whole time, out of everything. And like when it hit me, and I was like, there we go. I'm like, you walked into it. You got. Like, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, Harley, you got. Mm-hmm. You got. And I'm like, in there, I'm like, you got. And I'm falling on the canvas, and I'm like, literally like already formulating what my game plan could be. And I'm like, it's over. And I'm like, who am I even to get knocked down and like get back up, or get knocked down and like mean it in my head? I started to question myself only at the end there. And that's when I was like, okay, chill. You just did 3 rounds. Chill. This is a good, I like started slowing it down. I'm like, this is a good thing. The ref called it. I'm not hurt. Nothing bad happened. I'm fully awake. I'm like, there's no blood anywhere. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I guess I did it. It's a loss. That's fine. I knew like I could lose to Johnny Nitro.
Yeah.
So I wanted to show more, but yeah.
I want to know, when you took that last one, did your legs go out, or was it really just like the weight, the shock of getting hit? Like what happened?
All of his punches are very strong, and they're also like pushes, which isn't necessarily a good thing because it tires him out. But like every time, like even when I had my guard up and I'm stepping and he like hit me, it's like a whole push down. Like he's like punching so hard and he's so strong and he's like following it through.
Right.
And it's like not hitting you and returning to his defense. He's like pushing you. So like it's like I got hit fully clean and I felt his like fist like on me. It's like sitting on me. It's there, and I'm the whole time I'm like, I got God, bro. The one thing that I thought was that while falling, there's like a millisecond, like a half second, that I felt like the canvas got there faster.
Yeah.
And I was conscious enough to be like, did I, like, as I hit the ground, I'm like, did I just lose a half second? Did I lose a half second there?
Yeah.
Like, I think I did.
Yeah.
That's what I think happened. So I'm like, that's the closest thing I've had to something like that.
That's how it looked to me, to be honest. It looked like for like a split second, it was like, uh-oh. And
I was
like,
falling, I'm aware, and then the canvas was, I'm like, not yet. I'm like, wait, I lost time.
So
yeah, that time you lost was you going away for a second.
It's crazy. I was nowhere.
Yeah,
I went nowhere.
Yeah, you went nowhere, but you only knew when you got back that you were gone.
So now that you're like, it's hard to, now you can Monday morning quarterback this thing, now you've done all the training. Like, is there something that you would have done differently before you get to Tampa? I'm saying,
no, I would just do it properly. I boxed. The craziest thing is I boxed bad. For my skills, I just boxed bad. Literally,
yeah.
That's all. Like, what do I have? Like, if you told me that I was boxing him next week, I'd be down because I'm confident that I could beat him. Even though it looked like he was so crazy and so powerful, there were simple answers to his approach, and there were some huge mistakes that I made for no reason. And listen, he beat me fair and square, absolutely, and in many ways he fucked me up. But what I have prepared for that fight, I fucked it up.
I know that feeling. I know that feeling. I actually just went through something recently where I prepared for it and I knew exactly what I planned to do. And then the moment came and went, and I was like, I didn't do exactly what I said I would. Exactly what I practiced. Exactly. I even wrote it down in front of me and had it next to me, and I didn't glance at it once.
Even that punch you said that I threw out, Lynch, that
was weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was, well, look,
why'd I do that? Why'd I do that?
Because instinctively you were like, hit him with your hardest punch.
But there's
right
nothing,
away.
There's no regrets in, like, there's nothing you would do differently in your training. You feel like I did everything I could, or is there you feel like I left anything on the table?
That's the annoying part.
That's what I'm wondering.
That's like, the annoying part is because I wasn't gassed and I still had strength in my punches.
Yeah.
So the way I lost was like not a way I was really mentally prepared to lose. I thought he was going to beat me in cardio. Mentally, that was my biggest concern. And I feel like I did a lot for cardio. I feel like my cardio improved a ton compared to last year, big time. And I thought that for sure come the 4th or 5th round, I was going to be like, I'm going to fucking get hurt out here. I'm tired. I'm scared.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen. I never got scared. I never got tired. And so like that's the training. That's the thing that put me there. What fucked me up is literally my mind, overconfidence, like not sticking with the game plan. Like I didn't
I'll tell you what I didn't like. The one thing I didn't like all week is that we're filming like a part 2 to our docu-series. So we released part 1 obviously, and part 2 we got a lot of access and filmed pretty much everything for the 3 days. And we were interviewing people before the fight, and like just the number of people, I don't know if they're just saying this to us because they were talking to our team, but they were just like, yeah, like a lot of people felt like you had the upper hand. They felt like they were picking you. And I'm like, I don't like this. I'm like, please stop doing that. I'm like, I don't want you to pick Harley in this. It made me feel uncomfortable during the process when they were saying that. Although I felt confident, I didn't want anyone else to tell me they were feeling confident. Do you know what I'm saying? Other than you and me and our team. That's about it.
Well, it was never your fight to lose. This was always kind of we all knew this was going to be a big challenge from the get-go.
For sure.
I stand by the fact that I think you had a better plan, and I think you had a better strategy, and I think if he had your technical form, that he would have fucked you up in the first round.
I should have meant it more. That's really like if I had a regret, I guess I should have meant it more. I really thought I meant it, but I saw how much he meant it. I think I should have meant it more. But like, truth is, like, yeah, someone even like Dick on the last PKA I was on, he was like, I know John Morrison. What the fuck? That guy? And I was like, thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Can I get the kudos, dude?
Right.
Like, this guy was like pre-approved by me to be like an almost nightmare person to fight. Thank you. So when anyone was like, bro, that guy's gonna fuck, I'm like, thank you. Dick said that. Even Froggy said that. He was like, that's an athlete, bro.
Yeah.
I would never fight him. That's an athlete. And I was like, I know.
I don't know anyone that, like, there was no, I actually said that after your fight. I turned to the guys I was with and I was like, no one else there would have taken this fight.
The hard part is, especially because when you're in the heavyweight division, it's like, it's even more dangerous. You know what I mean? Like, it all takes is one punch, and like, things can get really fucking ugly. And I will say I didn't watch any of the fights because I was back. It's just, for me too, like, there's too much going on. I'm sticking with my boy. We're in the back area. I can't really pay attention to the other fights other than like a few things going on. But in watching back, I will say, like, Alex in the Idols fight was good, and I thought Alex showed a lot of skill. Like, I was really like surprised. Like, I guess I haven't watched any of his previous fights, but the crazy part of all this is, like, when influencer boxing started, these guys were wearing headgear. Like, what's happened? Now everyone's getting in there with their headgear off. Like, sure, I'll fight. Like, no problem. And it's like people, it's like it's all fun and games, and then like you just see people, like, there's real damage that gets done on this.
How long does this last?
I've been wondering that for a couple of years now.
When I saw my coach for Creator Clash 1, I was like 5 years, maybe 10, but 5 years.
It's hard to determine because look, they put a, well, like, your coach coaches pro boxers, these guys aren't fighting in like they want to fight it like in front of however many, 15, 16, whatever, 1,000 people. That's the other part. That's the other part about being an amateur boxer, that you are fighting someone and you're saying, like, he's been in that moment. Although you performed in front of many people, it is crazy to be on your second boxing match and be boxing in front of, like, 15,000 people or however many people were there.
I've boxed in front of a total of like 30,000 people.
It's crazy. Yeah. It's wild.
The amateur boxers must be the ones that hate influencer boxing the most.
Yes and no. Well, that article I was referencing was this guy, Simon Keane, the guy that I told you that I'd like semi-spar with. He'd fucking punch me in the head, and it was way harder than John's punches. Like, he's like, it scared me, bro.
He had a better snap on it.
This guy won his last match. He's an actual pro boxer. Mad French dude, mad strong. He's just fucking hits like crazy.
Yeah.
And I've seen his highlights, and he was there and he came with us. And, for him, in the article, he was like, yeah, it's crazy. Like 16,000 people. Like, what the fuck, to see like the bacon guy come out here, he's like, it's nutty. It's just, he's like, but maybe this makes the sport more popular, which I think it does. Yeah. Ideally, anyone listening to this, like, I got to tell you, I've been telling everyone, just go to your boxing gym. Like, what better reason than I lost 70 pounds? I'm not saying you have to go get punched out of the ring by a WWE superstar, but just go hit the pads. Go to like some group classes. Learn how to throw a punch. Shadow boxing for a couple rounds will break a sweat so easily. It's really just bizarre. It's the easiest return.
So I have one thing that I'm very curious about, because I'm the Bryce Hall on the podcast here. Like, he famously got ready for his previous fight, his first fight with Austin, by saying he was in over 50 street fights. And I'm like, that's sick. That's a really funny way to promote your boxing skills. I've been in a street fight, as if that's the same thing.
Oh, 53 street fights?
Yeah, he was like, oh, I've been in a lot of street fights, so I know how to fight. It's like, yeah. The only way
those all go to the ground in 4 seconds.
He definitely counted like grade 9 scuffles.
It only counts if you are a guy who gets in street fights and one punches every single person you ever meet. That is like, oh, okay, maybe he's got the hand of God available to him. But when you're in there and you're squared up and you're staring right at him, like, what are you thinking? Like, what do you see? What do you feel? What are you thinking? Because it's such a weird thing watching from the outside, seeing
I'm staring right at his, like, the top of his chest.
Yeah.
And like, you ever play like a video game where multiplayer, like, and like you have the sniper rifle out and you're holding it still and you focus on the whole screen so that if someone moves,
glassing.
Glassing. That's what that's called.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the top of his chest and I'm glassing, and like, thank God, because if I have to look into John Morrison's eyes, probably fucking,
yeah, it's like the eye of Sauron.
Probably make me laugh. They probably make me laugh.
Shout out to Rob Goodman.
Yeah,
you can't look that guy in the face.
So I was just looking there, and then I'm in space, and then I'm like, it's like, am I gonna punch you? No, I'm not. But why are you punching me? Bro, this guy's punching hard.
You did have a good one. You did have a good one where you kind of opened up your hands and you stepped with a feint, and he like snapped to it. So you were like, aha, and then you like moved your fist to where his face was, which I think they call that a punch in the business.
I have a couple pictures and videos of the times that I touched him, and I cherish those.
Yeah,
I was like, look at me, if I get punching Johnny Nitro right here, clean.
Yeah, I mean, build on that.
He told me he's like, he's like, if you connected more, it would have meant something. A lot of those, he's like, you punched me and you got me shook up for a second. And I know which punch he was talking about. I did it and he was like, it was like a boss like move, like what a boss.
But you always
do.
knew. I mean, look, I think I don't know if we follow wrestling. I follow wrestling, Wrestlers are just crazy guys, man. Are just crazy people. Like wrestlers, like I think my expectation was kind of exactly what happened from his strategy. I was like, he is gonna come and like he's gonna eat
Berserker barrage.
He's gonna eat punches. He's gonna get close because at one point it was like a wrestling match. Like when you after you fell out of the ring, there was a point where like it was like he was just like moving forward and pushing, and you were like stumbling back. And I was like,
I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah.
That was a fucking lit ass match. Like it doesn't get, and unfortunately it's me that was punched onto the table and stuff and all that shit. And you guys like know me and you had to watch all that and I had to live through it. But that aside, which is the anti-bias for what it's actually the sickest match. We put on a fucking show.
Lynch,
I told everyone we'd put on a show. We put on a show.
Lynch, I don't think you know my story. Do you know how I watched this fight?
No. Or where were we at?
So my plan was to have a few people over and watch it. So I pre-ordered it, get a little bit of a better price.
Sure,
yeah. And so I invited people over, but then I realized that the weather was actually fucking dope. It was warm and sunny. Okay. And I couldn't pass up the opportunity to go camping.
Oh, God.
So I was going to be in the woods. So I said, you know what? I'm going to fucking I'm going to wake up. I'm not going to look at my phone. I'm going to drive home on Sunday and I'm just going to watch it Sunday. And I'm chilling in the woods with a couple of buddies. And one of them says, hey, I wonder, it's like maybe 9:45 or something. And he goes, I wonder if Harley fought yet. And I look at my phone. I'm like, I have LTE. I have a battery pack. I could check. So I sign in on moment.ca and they're like, up next, the co-main event, Harley, the sauce spot. And dude, we caught the preamble, we caught the walkout, we caught every fucking second of Harley's fight, but I didn't watch any of the other fights.
I can't believe
we turned it on right at the precise moment.
You went camping, bro? You fucking ruined the whole vibe. Can't believe it.
I was
this
like,
guy
I was afraid to tell Harley.
I actually thought that too. I was like, oh, you went camping, that's why I lost.
You were texting me and maybe Marlon before the fight, and I was like, I literally wasn't going to tell you that I was going. I didn't want you to know that I wasn't watching.
How long did it take you?
But in the end, I was watching.
How long did it take you to
in front of a fire?
It's bullshit.
It's pretty chill, actually.
Yeah, I had a beer, fire.
Donnie should have revealed his face before we started the match, just to take some of the pressure off. But how did you feel? How long did it take you like after the fight happened? It's done. You're fully conscious. What were you thinking then? Like we go in and like, I think one thing that we learned from the first year is that there is an amount of like an adrenaline dump that has to happen. And last year you didn't really take any damage. This year you did. So you don't really know you don't necessarily know how you like what happened, because you are just getting punched. Things are happening. You may not feel it. Your adrenaline's fucking going, but
I wish I adrenaline dumped more.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
I was like too calm. I was too like, I wish I had a bit more like of that dog in me.
Oh, that
I
person
think
who posted
Most that I had a fucking LaBelle hot dog.
Yeah.
In me.
Whoever posted that did a good one. That was
I think most experienced fighters, though, value the calm more.
Yes,
because you can stick to your plan better.
Yes, absolutely. But like, I got the worst of both.
Yes, you did. You were calm and you fucked up your plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we weren't sure. I mean, you got back there, you had a sore jaw, right? That was kind of the main complaint.
Couldn't enjoy my Denny's as much as I wanted to that night.
Yeah.
You didn't want a second Grand Slam in one day.
Yeah, this is when I realized I'm an old man, because this guy goes through a full boxing match whole weekend, and I'm we're out.
You're tired from the flight.
Like 6:30 in the morning, and I'm like, bro, like I can't even handle this.
Yeah, but that's my curse, because then it's like bedtime, and I'm like, I'd like to sleep now, and I have like 9 screens on.
So post fight, you didn't feel like you had a big adrenaline dump because like you were tired. I mean, you were just I think you were processing. It seemed like to me from the outside looking in. Now we have all the footage. We filmed everything.
I was so much more tired after the first fight.
Really?
When that first fight ended, I'm like, fucking like.
You had a different body composition though.
This one, I was like, damn. I walk over. I'm like, yeah, give me the mic. Give me the mic for a second.
Yeah. Fuck.
Well, you said it last time, bro. You only used 20% of your strength.
I know. It would have been nice though to get the win and then get the whatever call out you had planned. I'm sure you had.
I was going to tell people to actually go box. I was like, thank you to Real Boxers for letting us play pretend tonight. If you're watching this, you should really go boxing. Look how much weight I lost. How fat I was last year. And then be like, and if anyone wants to box me, like, yo, hit me up.
Now, do you think you're gonna start boxing people in the streets?
No, I got, but we have, I have some of my peers boxing this weekend, actually.
Okay.
I'm going to try and watch it.
Do you think, do you wish he came in a bit heavier?
Maybe, but no. Much happier. Like, I'm much happier now today having a loss and being this weight than being 30 pounds heavier and having won. Like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
Like, everything's the same, but I'm like, I'm 270 instead of 240. Nah. No, I don't want that. It would help. It could help a lot. And like, there was ways when he was bullying me where it could have just been worse for him.
Like 10 more pounds if you were 250 and say rather than 240.
This is John Morrison. Like, the 10 pounds isn't cutting it. You gotta, you want the 20. No, you gotta do like 30, 40. This guy was very strong. When I was lying on him, I slumped on him. His body did not move like a centimeter. He was still standing erect. And then I was like, of course.
John Morrison
that's literally what he does.
Cast iron, bro.
He could pick me up. When I was slumped on him clinched, he could have picked me up.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
100%.
Yeah,
I wish he did. It would have been really kind of hype.
I thought he was going to do a backflip, but he must have been somewhat tired if he didn't hit the standing backflip.
He said he was very tired.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, wrestling's it is different, as you know, like keeping your hands up and punching.
Bro, he also punched like 5 times as many times as I did. So like like him being tired isn't the reflection of like me being more fit than him. It's just that he was exerting way more with what his effort was, and it was fruitful. But that was the big difference, is that he was fucking going off.
But yeah, he could have, like, if he was a better boxer, he would have still hit you with the ones he hit you with.
Bro,
but
he
just
didn't throw anything.
Less.
Nothing went down the middle, and he barely hit my stomach. Like, if he was a real boxer, I was blocking my head the whole time, and he was like scooping my head.
Yeah,
he really a boxer
should have just went body, and you would have dropped your hands right there.
Or just one liver shot. Yeah. I was there when I'm in that position. I'm like, I'm gonna take the body shots. That's what I'm thinking. I'm up against the ropes. I'm like, I'm gonna take the body shots, and I'm gonna protect. And I'm gonna try and counter when he goes for my body. That's my chance. Try and go. Maybe I'll have that opportunity there. But I'm taking the body shot. But a real boxer, I wouldn't do that. Like, I box people that I'm like, they've hurt me when they hit me there. Yeah. He was punching me and it was okay. And that was bad in a way, because now I played silly.
But his coach did say, and they did go to his corner, I think in the second round or whatever. And he's like, hit throw one up top and then hit him in the stomach. Like, throw one up top. Like mix.
You got to mix people up.
Like he's like hit him in the stomach, and he just seemed to be.
Yeah, because his coach is like a striker, like legendary. He definitely would have hit me one time in the body. Finished that guy.
Yeah, I mean all these like old pros and all these pros are probably like, man, I'd fuck these guys up like in 2 seconds, literally.
Well, and speaking of telling people to box, like there are, when you look at sort of MMA and you look at what it's made out of, there are certain styles that are sort of undeniable, you know? You can't really deny like Brazilian jiu-jitsu on the ground and stuff. And I mean, anywhere on your feet too, but I'm just saying the ground game, like judo to throw people, jiu-jitsu to grapple them, and boxing is a pure fucking art. Like, boxing is how to punch people. That's boxing.
Yeah, I actually saw this crazy TikTok of that last UFC knockout. And the guy was breaking it down. He was like, this is basically boxing skills here. And he was like, I know a lot of you guys don't really respect boxing that much because it's not like, there's so many other ways and means of fighting in the ring.
Yeah, no.
But boxing,
Boxing,
you know,
is
like the
different.
best of us, the best of them break the rules. You know, you got to be able to break the rules of boxing to be able to maximize another discipline in MMA, whatever. But he was just up against the cage getting beat up. And this is like something that, like, I practice this because, like, you know, like you have a guy up against the ropes, that's when you leave yourself open. Like when you're punching him,
Yeah.
you know,
You drop your D and just
yeah, he dropped he hit him with the left and he never brought it back. And then he swung the right and his opponent's just like eyes are wide open and he has his guard up and he sees it and then just answers back right away because his hand never went up. And it's like, yeah, you don't, in MMA, you don't bring your hand. But in this particular scenario where you're kind of in a boxing scenario, you want your hand back up protecting you. And with John, like, I had my thing here and I heard him breathing and I heard him, he was so tired and his punches still kept coming hard. And I was like thinking that it's so crazy that I had such a conscious mind the whole time. I was like, bro, I'm like, this guy's still punching.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's still punching so hard. And I hear him breathing. I'm like, he means it. He means this so much. And I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I got to get out of here. I'm like, oh, what if the ref calls it? I got to throw it a jab. I got to let them know I'm still here. I haven't answered in like,
you're not just,
in like, you know, and I'm like, I don't want them to know. I'm like, this probably looks like I'm getting fucked up because some punches are sneaking through, hitting the side of my head and stuff. And I'm like, I just felt the need to show I was still engaged. And then I would like trade punches. I'm getting hit. He punches faster than me.
Yeah. I thought that was his strategy at a point, that probably at that same moment. I don't remember what round it was, but you were back and he was just hammering your guard. It wasn't really doing much, but I was just
you
like,
take damage still when you get
for sure.
like
But I was
it's
mostly
not nothing, you know, you're still getting punched.
I was mostly thinking that if you're just getting your guard hammered for like a full 15 seconds, the ref's just going to stop the fight.
I mean, there was a moment where he was coming at you like that. I guess the part for me is I feel like, and it's tough when you look at it, but I just feel like you were prepared. Like there was obviously more skills left to show or like to put out there, and it's just
life would be. I could only imagine
weird
if I had won that match. If I went out and I performed, like life right now would be really strange.
Yeah, you wouldn't even know who to be after that.
Yeah, because like this is almost like that's like when that happened, I was like, oh yeah, like that totally makes sense. If it didn't happen, I'd be like, still like, what's going on? But there's this like, it's just been very strange. The entire thing has been strange. And like, I feel like it's normal to have lost. And another thing that I kind of feel like if I'm going to pretend to be a boxer for this little side quest in my life, I think losing is a really important part of the boxing side quest.
Yeah.
Like there's an element of the loss that I am like, I have to appreciate. I have to take, you know what? Like I could tell you something. It's actually true. The phone is a lot quieter after a loss.
I was going to say to you,
the phone is a lot quiet. And I didn't think, I thought I was like, kind of like, oh, I'm gonna have to like tell, like, it's going to be so much phone. And then like, I do get calls, but like, it is a lot quieter.
You know, it's funny you say that because all I can think about, and this is the part that like crosses my mind. It's like all your haters unite. They're probably so happy.
I don't know because
I
think,
know what happened. I think a lot of people. No, the conversation, like I see it on my Twitter, I see it on comments. Like I get notifications. The conversation, like I stopped the day before and the day of the fight engaging people, but the notifications still go. And since the fight, the notifications I'm getting now are people like talking back to them. Like it used to just be an endless barrage of people like, you know, like saying like iDubbbz this, Anissa that, whatever. Like, wow, you can't believe you did this for that. But the conversation is drastically different now. Drastically different. Even on Twitter, like even just responding, I responded to a creator clash thing, like about the video that this Bo Blacks put out. And he like tweeted it about his video. And I was just like, yeah, I watched the video and I responded to it. And it just has a lot of engagement and all of it is positive. It seems like at the end of the day, the people that were talking shit don't really want to talk as much shit because I guess I got in the ring with John Morrison. And
Exactly.
And I did it.
Everyone saw that.
Like, he knocked me down and I kept getting back up. Like, so I guess, I don't know how many people in YouTube boxing that have gotten the ring are as strong as John Morrison or would go through the 3 rounds with John Morrison. So, I mean, that. I also, like, once the fight night was happening, I just started blocking people, which I never do. Like, if someone's just said something, like, really fucking dumb, I just hit them with a block.
Surprised you even put that level of effort in.
Isn't the entire internet, pretty much?
But in terms of what you were saying of, like, using this, or not using it, but taking a loss as part of the side quest experience of boxing, it is true that, like, you want to earn every achievement in that game. And one of the achievements is
lose your first match.
Yeah, lose your first match.
This actually leads to a question that, I mean, you said something to me like not too long after the fight, and just for context, this is going to come out beginning next week, regular time. We're recording this maybe.
Oh, we're recording it on 420.
Oh yeah, 6 days after the fight. Is your are you gonna box again? Like what's the sentiment?
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel? Like what
you
are
need to
you
decide now
thinking?
and tell the world?
Well, I want to get like a bit of a temperature. You don't have to answer. It's up to you. It's your podcast, so you can do what the fuck you want. But,
no editing this part. He either answers or he doesn't.
Well, boxing, I already said that I'm down to box. I posted on Instagram. I said, yeah, I'm going to box again.
He texted me and Marlon right away and said, I think I have one more in me.
Yeah, at least.
So did you start adding people, or you just sort of, or like, are we saying?
I think he's going to box the Undertaker.
I've been like watching my peers. I can't tell. They definitely don't know my abilities based on what I did with how the match went with John Morrison, but like there are like heavyweights in the YouTube space, and I look at them and I'm like, that's so interesting. These people that are by default like my peers, should a fight ever get set up, like maybe it's one of these guys, one of these dudes that exist. And I've watched like all the YouTube heavyweight fights, and I don't look at that and go, I'm the best of these guys. I'm like, but my skills lie somewhere here.
Dude,
I'm really curious. There's a fight.
Hassan.
There's a fight. No, he's not boxing. I tried to convince him.
Yeah, then he saw
to box you or to
no,
to
just
box
create
Sam?
a clash.
I
Okay.
actually heard him saying that. He's like, Harley tried to tell me this, and then I saw him follow the ring, and he told me he saw my face, and Harley was told him that he realized he just tried to convince Hassan this entire time to box after Harley just fell out of a ring, and he's like, that's never gonna happen. I'm never gonna do that.
Fuck.
These guys are gonna watch them box this weekend.
Which
it's a
guys?
Misfits fight.
Yeah.
I think this comes out by the time this comes out. They'll have already boxed there.
Is it Kingpin or is it Misfits?
No, it's Misfits.
Okay, they're just because I saw those press conferences for Kingpin.
No, they like pushed each other. This guy that worked with Mr. Beast, he pushed the guy he's gonna box.
Oh, like at the press conference?
Yeah, he pushed him really hard.
One thing's for sure, if you were ever involved
Kinda
in one
dumb.
of those promotions, the energy I feel like would be very different than the type of energy we're getting at Creator Clash, which is
What do you mean? I gotta have like the toolie on me.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah. I mean,
it was funny that after John, when John was making his kind of victory speech in the ring, he was just using his civilian voice, and then you took the mic and you like brought up wrestling, and then he was like, rah, 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 rah. He completely shifted into, he's like, well, Harley, he like did the fucking wrestling voice. I was like, that's so funny. This guy has like different fucking hats, you know?
I mean, the guy wrestles all the time.
Yeah, no, it was just funny to literally hear him. Like, he was like, yeah, you know, Harley, I have a lot of respect for him. And you were like, yeah, I want to wrestle you next. He was like, well.
Oh, this weekend will have already happened by the time this comes out.
But that footage won't be out. Are you gonna put, unless you're gonna talk about it before then?
Well, what footage? Oh yeah, but he's gonna.
Hold on, what happened?
They're gonna have footage.
Hold on,
they're
you
gonna
just
have
had
footage.
You just gained a British accent
You
for the
did
word
it.
footage.
What he sounded like
He went,
Footage.
"What? Andrew Tate.
What footage?
Yeah,
What
what
footage?
What Bergotti?
yeah, I guess if it's gonna be out there, it's gonna be out there. So
I'm going to Wisconsin this weekend. John
Are you?
Morrison's. Yeah, he's wrestling some dude, and he's and I'm gonna come out of the crowd and I'm gonna hit him with a chair, make him lose.
You know what?
That's really happening.
I didn't
That's
know
really
you were
happening.
going. I didn't know you were going to Wisconsin so soon after getting back.
Why, you wanted to climb Mount Mansfield?
No, but
So shut up.
I'm gonna ask you to bring me some cheese.
Yeah,
you're
watch
gonna
the dogs then.
you're gonna bring me cheese
You gotta watch the dogs.
That's a good deal.
this weekend.
Shut up.
You're leaving Julie here.
Well, I want to say on my
We'll talk about
behalf,
it on the podcast.
yeah, he doesn't have a girlfriend. Please,
Don't say that either.
sorry, he has a girlfriend, but we can't talk about it.
Whoa, we done.
But her name's not Julie.
Yeah, he has a friend who's a girl, also a friend who's a man, and we're not sure.
And they both live in his bed.
Friend is a man.
I want to say though, I mean, look,
So say it.
I want to say that
Say it.
What are you waiting for?
I don't know, man. I'm just I got a lot of respect for what you did. I don't know. It's been like a pretty crazy journey. As someone who just like sits on the sides and gets to watch it all unfold directly in front of my face,
Really bananas, eh?
it's wild.
Yeah.
It's like it's really just a crazy.
Hold on a
arc.
second. Hold on a second, Donnie. I'm talking to my cousin for a second.
It's great. It's great.
You know, I gotta turn
What
off.
do you think Zadie?
take my
How do you think
headset off.
Zadie feels?
Well, I think it's just funny. It's like I said, it's surreal for me. Even just like he has to go out and do it, but you know, like in real life, like you know, like you gotta give
So
respect
fucked up.
for doing this. I mean, like just stepping in the ring and making that decision.
Especially not even people listening, just you two guys who know me. You
Yeah.
have to give me respect because you know that I'm not the guy to ever do
Yeah.
something like that.
Well, I said-
that's the craziest part. Is like you guys know me
That was
Like,
fake.
from the jump. That's
Like,
not.
Yeah.
I don't know why I did that.
Like if you were to nominate a tribute from our family of like we have many male cousins.
Oh, we got good fighters out
we
there.
got-
We
we got
have
a lot
some
of-
fighters.
I don't know if Harley cracks the top 3. Like I mean, maybe he's a big guy. Like you know.
I still don't even think I'm number one. By the way, this
Oh, you definitely are.
this
Now,
whole thing.
Put some respect on your name now. All the cousins are gonna beat up. But yeah, continue. Sorry.
This whole thing is just like really like I'm just joking.
Yeah,
Like I'm literally joking.
for sure. I
Like
get it.
training to be a boxer because it's funny. Like even when I was getting in there, my coach was like, "What are you gonna do with your hair?" I'm like, "I'm gonna have it down." He's like, "Why?" I'm like, "Cause it's funny." He's like, "It's funny." I'm like, "Yeah, it's gonna be funny." Like this whole thing.
And he's like, "Why are you joking?"
Even like getting fit. Like getting fit for boxing is funny. Like to get fit, like to do it, like the whole thing.
You're basically pulling like a what's his name, Rob McElhenney or whatever.
Losing 70 pounds is one of the most hilarious things I've ever done.
That's it,
Bro, I
Because
haven't
to
heard
lose
the end of it.
70, to lose 70 pounds, I had to gain 70 pounds.
McElhenney.
Yeah.
That's his name, Rob McElhenney.
My mother
That's
called
always
me
said
actually
it.
like the other day, and she's like giving me shit. She's like, "Oh my god, Hart looks so good. He looks so good. Like, you know, you should maybe take some tips from Harley. Like, he's looking great." Like,
Take some tips.
I was
Take
like,
some
I was like, you know
Stay
what?
up very late.
Yeah,
Smoke 7 grams of hashish in 4 days.
and only eat air fried bison and broccoli with no sauce.
Hey, wait, no, what do you mean? Oh, yeah, usually no sauce. Usually.
Well,
and,
maybe-
and then call me over to fucking work through all the
Can you-
gummy bears in your house.
Can you put in a word with Louis for me? Like, what do you think? Like, I feel like I need to get on the Louis plan. Like, I know what the plan is, but I feel like I need to be talking to Louis.
I don't know what my plan is. I got to talk to Louis. I don't know what I'm doing now.
You know what you're
I
doing
got to
now?
hit him up and be like, so what do I do? What should I do?
Honestly,
Now-
you know what I think you should be doing?
Getting mad jacked, right?
Yeah, like 10 more
Like,
pounds of muscle.
Yeah,
now
I
you're
think-
now your
I-
muscles glasses.
No, I want to try and put on like 10 pounds of
10
muscle.
pounds
this
of muscle
summer.
to
I want to
be-
eat really well just to like grow big and just be like, be ugly. I want to be big and ugly. I want to be muscular.
Wearing some fucking schmedium shirts and just out here looking
Schmedium.
like huge, you know. 10 pounds. I actually thought like looking like because you look we saw the transformation. You look
I'm on
great.
my way to be the fucking weirdest 40-year-old of all time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I got 3 years to set a fucking high score
Yeah.
in
Well-
my hometown at least.
I
Isn't
feel
it-
like your third act is as Beast from X-Men.
My third like of my life.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's
That's
hard you know what's hard about this?
You're gonna be Hank Mornstein.
You know what's hard about this is like you bring up
Frankly.
sort of You're gonna put 10 pounds of muscle on, which I back big time. I'd love to see that. But it is this weird mode, and I think I'm like trying to come to grips with it, because like last year even too, but we kind of just did what we did. We took a lot of time off. But like it is weird. It's like we can't go in the kitchen and make an epic meal with a mirror next week. Like that can't be it. You know, like what like we like what's it gonna be? Like what's the content? You know, like where are we go? What are we doing? Are we just, you know what I mean? Like that's the part that I'm coming to grips with a little bit personally.
I'm telling you now, Amir is the sauce boss and Harley's muscle.
I'm like, I'm just like, honestly, maybe I just on the channel it's just like epic life, and I can go do shit I want. I'm like, epic life. This is where I'm on a cruise, and then we're hitting fucking, me and Lynch are hitting balls at Top Golf in Vietnam.
I kind of want to
golf there.
You know what? There's a lot of golf in Thailand. I do think the content's gonna have to probably switch up a little bit here for us, like permanently.
Bring back the vlog.
I just want to do things. I want to like do things.
I want that we're like that we want to do.
I just want to like do things.
Okay.
I want to like go do a thing. Like yeah, even if I did like you know, anything. Like if someone was like, bro, let's go skeet shooting tomorrow, I'll be like, okay.
You already did that in the vlog.
Yeah, but I want to like, I'm just saying, like, I want to do some things.
I'm with you. I feel like I think getting out into the world.
Okay, you got to get us some sponsors, bro. Let's get this shit paid so we could just get crazy.
Okay, well who are
you? Got to get us sponsored by Polaris ATVs, and we can go drive off into the fucking sunset.
I can't believe the next video is gonna be like going fishing in Montana.
That'd be sick. I'm scared of the wild animals there.
Yeah, let's do it.
That's his response.
We should get scared. Sponsored by Bud Light.
That's a good idea.
100%.
I hear they're doing well.
Best beer in the world.
Fuck, I think we covered it. I don't know. There's a lot to unpack. It's still early. You know, not that I don't even know. I don't have anything else to say about it other than it was.
Yeah, to those listening, like if it was just thought it was a lot of boxing talk, I figured, you know, we figured this is we'll talk about it here. If anywhere, it may have been a lot, but sorry about that. That was just one of the weirdest things that's ever happened.
Well, not as weird as these new limited edition Fudgios. Am I right?
Yeah, Fudgios.
Yeah, Wendy's is bringing you Fudgio brownie.
I actually had a topic in my back pocket ready to go. That I was like,
let's hear.
I was actually pissed off about it.
Like Jack in the Box.
So I went to this like shake place I go to, you know, like pretty regularly.
Oh, he's mad.
And
he's mad. He didn't want to say what it was called. Okay.
No, because I backed them. I fuck with them.
Well, how regularly are you getting shakes? What are we talking about?
A couple times a week at least. I don't know. Yeah.
See, that's the problem.
No, not shakes like protein shakes, like healthy. It's like a healthy.
Okay.
You go to get like. It's that well, there's many more problems. There is problems, but that's not the problem. So I go there.
Like, I'll have the Smarties shake. Please.
Yeah, and I enjoy this place. It's very good. One of the best new spots I've been going to. But I went there today on the way, and I was feeling myself. I walked in. My daughter now will hold my hand and walk around. I'm feeling all good. They hand me my drink. They hand me the straw. I go in my car. I pop open the straw. They moved to cardboard straws. And that's where I was like,
and they used to never be like that.
They were never. And you know what's weird is, you know, you go to like a healthy place, you think they're going to be rolling with the cardboard straw. And I thought of Donnie immediately because I was actually like annoyed. I'm like,
why me?
Because I feel like,
why me?
Because I think Donnie's got to take on this, like, oh, like we're saving the planet. And I got to say, like, I just like my plastic straws. Like, I enjoy my plastic straw. Like, there's nothing I hate more than a cardboard straw. It pisses me off. I know that it might be useful, but to me, it's like, please.
My hottest take on straws. Yeah. My hottest take on straws is my amazement at how passionate people are about hating paper straws.
It's the worst. It's the worst call.
It's like
I was furious for 2 months, and now I am like lost all means of caring about it.
For the amount of drinks I drink through a straw, which I could like count on one hand of
don't talk to us then, bro.
Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I have it
back with this guy's back with the fucking
with the abstinence. Fuck.
Yeah, he probably carries a metal straw around in his back.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. If you're that passionate about straws, there are solutions out there. I feel like it's you who got caught.
I don't like metal straws.
I was thrown. I don't like the taste of cardboard in my mouth.
So
while I'm
guess
drinking
what?
my
You
drink.
could carry a plastic straw
You know
too.
what's fire? The
You have
bamboo.
all the options.
The bamboo straws are really good. As long as it doesn't break and you're fragile with it, bamboo's lit.
Listen, I'm with Harley. I will
a
get
hard
over
case.
this. I'm gonna get over this. But the shock and the disappointment in the moment, I was like, man,
The
I'm like, this-
dismay.
I was like, this is fucked up, man.
Why
I
don't you
can't-
just
like
roll
this.
up a $20
No,
bill?
that's
and
good. We're
suck it
doing
through
some
there?
lightning rounds here. Yeah, I like these lightning round hot takes. Oh, another one right here.
Okay.
Mario movie is like the sickest movie I've seen since Everything Everywhere All at Once.
So good.
I haven't seen it,
It was
but
so fucking.
I'm
I can't
actually
believe
down.
They did it.
I will see it again with you 100%. I
They did
can't
it.
believe how much like Mario tickles my soul.
The
like what
best.
they did, it was just crazy good.
Yeah,
If
and
you
they
don't
hit
like
every
it,
note.
like you're honestly being a bitch about it, Amir.
They hit every.
No,
No, they hit every note. Honestly, they really did. They like just even the way they did the music and all.
Yeah.
everything about it was just so
I
enjoyable.
want a Metroid
sub
movie
2
now.
hours. Sub 2 hours. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
I like
talking
that.
about.
oh,
Love
that's
that.
big.
Yeah.
Very big.
Sub
Yeah.
2 hours for the theater like that. It's a nice experience.
Yeah.
I do want a Metroid movie now. Maybe a Zelda. I don't really care for a Donkey Kong movie.
Nah,
They're all Jewish in the movie.
they're all coming.
They really are.
Yeah,
they
they're
really
very,
are.
very Jewish in the movie.
But like I kind of detect sort of, you had the success of Marvel movies.
Mhm.
I guess it's kind of started with X-Men and Spider-Man and shit like that. But success with the Mario movie, people are going to start snatching up franchises now, and we're just starting the new arc.
Well, it's Nintendo, so no one's snatching up their franchise really. Like,
Yeah, but they also could have fucked it up, and they didn't, and that's always respected. Whenever I always am like, somehow they're gonna make this suck, but this is a great movie for you to watch as an adult, and also watch with, like, my nephew who's watched it. I'm gonna go see it again with him because he fucking loved it and he loves Mario. And
I don't know if it'll
so
get me in the
excited for it.
theater, to be honest. I don't know what could really get me in the theater nowadays.
Nothing.
But yeah,
You know
You
what
don't
got me?
like
You know what got me in the theater? Not having to take care of a child. Pretty much is
Yeah.
what got me in the theater.
Yeah,
I saw two movies. I saw Air and I saw this one.
you just didn't want to go home. You're like, fuck it, I'll see another.
I
movie.
actually was melancholy. I wanted to go home the entire time, but I, it is
Shit.
what it is.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah,
I got a Steam Deck.
that's sick.
It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. Like, I really slept on it. Donnie, it's
Yeah.
like it has access to all my computer games. I just download to it. It's like a handheld.
I've heard Danny Brown go on at length about Steam Decks.
Oh my god! It's like I have in my hand. I'm playing Half-Life 2, and it looks.
I knew you were going to
It's-
hit me with Half-Life. As
'Cause,
soon
like,
as you said
it's-
Donnie, I knew Half-Life was coming
it's-
because you know the key to my heart.
It was literally like the fact that I couldn't download much. I was on the hotel Wi-Fi before I got on the plane.
Fucking
it was
hotel
two-
Wi-Fi is the
2
worst.
gigabytes. I got that Half-Life 2, and I was playing it, and it's in its full glory, just in the palm of my hand. It's fucking insane.
Shit, man.
And then I
I'm
booted up.
chubbing up over here.
I booted up
It's a pretty
Cyberpunk.
big thing too. It's like a
Mhm.
pretty big kind of handheld.
Yeah.
Is it like the size of a Game
Big
Gear?
screen. Yeah, it feels like a Game Gear in your hands when you were 8. Like, it feels that big.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's not very heavy, and it has a big screen. It played Cyberpunk, like, so crazy. It plays Cyberpunk, Red Dead, GTA,
Shit, man. How much-
Spider-Man.
I'm out of video games, but if there's anything that could really get me back, it's something like that.
Well, that's what the Switch did for me. I stopped playing video games, and I bought a Switch, and it was like, oh, this is the perfect amount of video game for someone like me.
And I mean, I say I'm out of video games, but I turned on, I think I told you this, Harley. I turned on Fallout 4 the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at my last save. It was from 2017. And even that's pretty late for Fallout 4. And then I put a couple hours into it.
Okay, so you're down.
I am down. Like, I'm getting to a point. I'm getting to a point where it's wearing me down.
I want to say a couple things before we wrap it up. One, I want to say shout out to the Creator Clash team and all the people involved in that, including ourselves, but all the people that set it up. It really was like an awesome event. We had a good time. They managed to like up it from last year, and just a lot of great people working there. And we just
Shout out to his family.
yeah, no joke. We've done a lot of different things, but I have to say, like, they really took care of us. And
Like, bro, iDubbbz, So crazy. If you told me 6 years ago, like, yeah, YouTuber is going to help you get into the strongest physical and mental places of your entire life, and that YouTuber is iDubbbz, I'd be like, nah, not him. I don't believe you, bro. Not iDubbbz. I'm like, that guy, the guy who says this and that, not the guy that says this and that.
It would be more the how to basic guy.
Yeah, same. Even that. It's like, might as well be. Literally. Yeah. Might as well say it's a ghost, even.
Oh, shit. Yo, let's get that ghost merch going.
Hey, man. How do you spell it? How do you spell the... I can't even say it.
G-O-I.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah. How would you spell it?
Yeah.
And the last thing I want to say is we do have a sort of... We did capture a ton of content this entire weekend. So we obviously know the result now, but we're going to be able to provide like a really excellent piece of content that sort of sums it all up and shows you a lot of what was going on behind the scenes, and just show you some, like, we had full access to the arena, which was also awesome. So we'll be able to give you a real inside look into the whole thing, and make sure you check that out. It's going to come out the first week of May, and it's going to be fucking sick. So make sure you watch it.
Yeah, tune in. It's going to be sick.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening to the Binge Eater Podcast. Your boy, the South Spouse, here with Donnie Duckets and Big Lynch. And remember, I'm still an undefeated YouTube boxer. I'm just 0-1 in boxing WWE Superstars.
It's true.
All right. Love you all. Bye.